Hey guys, it's Danny. How are you all doing? I hope everybody's okay. I hope you're all safe and healthy. I just wanted to start with that from the beginning. Welcome to our first live stream here on my channel. Yay! Well, I have to tell you a secret. This is now my very first ever live stream. We did a live stream about a few days ago on Discord with a few of you guys, and it was so fun. It was a blast, and I decided, hey, why don't we do a YouTube stream and I get to talk to all of you. So that said, let me just see who's in the comments. And you have to excuse me, this is a little bit new for me as well. I'm a little bit nervous. There are no cuts, no editing, so yeah, it might get cringy. But I just want to say hi to you guys. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can properly see. So let's see who's in the chat. Oh, hey, oh my goodness, 151 of you guys already. So first of all, you guys, this is a test. We decided to do this like a few hours ago, so we're gonna talk about only one subject. But if this goes well, we're gonna have multiple subjects that we're gonna talk about. But for now, let me know if you hear me, let me know if the quality is okay, and let me know how you are and where you're from. And just say hello. So, let's see. Oh, hi Rox. Hi from Romania. So, by the way, what hour is it where you are? Let me know. Hi from France. Hi from Turkey. Hi, you guys. Oh my goodness. So many of you. Thank you, AJ. I hope I will. Hi, Ron. Hi, Brita. It's so nice to see you guys. Okay, this is going to be fun, but yeah. I think first of all, we should start with the subject that the title suggests, with the elusive Princess Jacky. Can you guys tell which one of these orchids is Princess Jacky? I don't think you can, but if you can, let me know in the comments down below and I'll check it out. As you might know from a previous video, I actually have two orchids which I believe are the Princess Jacky. And well, I'm pretty sure now that only one of them is the Jacky. And it is this one, because this one, the other one that I purchased at a discount to just gift one of you guys, does not smell anything like the Princess Jacky. But if you take a look at them, they look very, very similar. There are some differences though. So let's talk a little bit about the Princess Jacky and how I acquired it and why the name and things of the sorts. So Princess Jacky was actually a name given by a different YouTuber. I think it was Zane who came up with the idea, and the name actually comes from my old, which she's still alive, but it's my old dove called Jacky. Currently she lives with my mother. So because the orchid is so white and my dove was so white, obviously we called her Princess Jacky, but this is a no ID. And ever since I purchased it, I think 5 years ago or 6 years ago at this point, I could not find a proper ID for it. But the reason why she's so special is the fragrance. She has one of the most beautiful fragrances that I've ever experienced, ever in my life. And it's so hard to describe. I would say it's a little citrusy, a little lemony. By the way, see, I'm pronouncing citrusy correctly now. I learned my lesson. But at the same time, it has this beautiful underlayer of creaminess and butteriness. It's just so hard to describe. She looks simple, white, but she's absolutely amazing. And ever since I had this orchid, I was on the hunt for a few others just to put in a giveaway and share the love, you know? So I found this orchid about 2 years ago in a shop. And judging by the leaves, it didn't have a flower, by the way. Judging by the leaves and the canes, I thought, oh, this surely is the Princess Jacky. I'm gonna save it, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm just gonna gift it. But this is the first time it blooms. And even though it looks very much like the Princess Jacky, it is not, by far. It has a citrusy fragrance, but it's kind of stark, kind of simple, and I have to say it barely smells. It's not powerful at all. And at this hour, by the way, it's 9 o'clock here, it doesn't smell at all, while the Princess Jacky still has a fragrance. So at this point, I can conclude that these two orchids are not the same. They might be related, but they're definitely not the same. However, you might know that recently I had my Chantilly Lace Twinkle in bloom, which is this one, doesn't have blooms, but I'm sure that if you Google the name and my name, you're gonna find the orchid. Well, the good thing about that orchid, except for the fact that she was beautiful, was that it was smelling almost identical to Princess Jacky. So I went a little bit in the parentage of this orchid and I discovered that there are a few parents which might lead the way to a proper ID for the Princess Jacky. And these parents are not the intermedia like everybody keeps suggesting in the comment section to this day. Sadly, it's not the intermedia. I know the intermedia is the most common one, but I highly, highly doubt it. So the Chantilly Lace Twinkle has the Cattleya walkeriana and Loddigesi as main heritage. And there is another white Cattleya on the market which has the very similar heritage, and this is the white bridal, I think variety Yuki, could be just white bridal. By the way, Thomas, thank you so much for the super chat. You were so generous. Thank you. Alrighty. By the way, Thomas is an old friend here on the channel. So, hi Thomas. Thank you so much for watching. Glad you made it. Okay, so the white bridal has the Loddigesi and the Walkeriana as main parents. The other ones, not main. And I do believe that the other ones did not share fragrance. They shared other traits. So in my opinion, which is just an opinion, it might be completely wrong, the Princess Jacky is actually the white bridal Yuki, or very closely related to it. However, because you can never put a correct ID without a proper tag on an orchid, and because there is this danger of people just taking it as it is and starting to hybridize it or enter it in contests under a false tag, I will not name it Yuki Bridal because it's just so special that putting a wrong ID on it is just a shame, really. So for now, the Princess Jacky will still be called Princess Jacky, and that's just a name we give it. It's not a registered name. I don't intend to register it yet. I don't know. Maybe I will. But for now, yeah. I do suggest that if you want to detect this fragrance, if you want to experience this fragrance, and you've never seen this orchid around, do go for the Chantilly Lace Twinkle. I'll be sure to add all of these names in the description after the live stream. I don't know if you can see the tag. Do search for this one because it's beautiful and it smells almost identical to the Princess Jacky. There we go. So that said, I know many of you asked me if these two are identical, if they're the same. They're not, sadly, but I intend to keep my promise, and if I ever see the Princess Jacky around again, and P.S. this was not purchased here, it was purchased in Romania, but if I ever see it around, I will buy it and I will put it in the giveaway because I don't need multiple of them. I think I will keep this one because she's really pretty for now, but yeah, it's a letdown. I mean, if I smell this one and then this one, it's a very big letdown. So you're not actually missing anything. Anyway, so that's the gist on the Princess Jacky and about fragrance in general. We will pick up this discussion, but now I do want to check the comments. I want to see what you guys want to know. If you have questions, if you have something to add to the fragrance discussion or to the Princess Jacky discussion, I am trying to answer as many questions as I can before moving on to the subject of why do we actually all detect fragrances a little bit different? What makes us not detect the same fragrance the same as everybody else? Sophie's saying, hey Danny, oh so cool, a live stream. I saw Princess Jacky, I clicked. Yeah, same. If I would see Princess Jacky anywhere, I would click, I would buy. Hi Foxy Lady, hi. Hi Mild Cat. You guys are from all over the place. How are you doing? How are you coping with things? Boreal is asking, do orchid fragrances attract bugs or pests? That's a very good question because it depends what you consider a pest. There are orchids in this world which are trying to attract not the cutest of bugs. They're trying to attract flies and all sorts of moths that are not really attracted to beautiful floral fragrances. And in this category, we have the bulbophyllums. And many of them are known to smell like decomposed, how should I say this to be friendly? Decomposed matter, but not vegetal matter, the other type of matter. So I don't have one of, I have a bulbophyllum like that. I've never seen the flowers, but I did hear people saying that it smells like you're in the presence of a dead animal, really. So I'm looking forward to my bulbophyllum blooming. But yeah, there are orchids which are trying to attract bugs and I wouldn't say pests, really. But yeah, not all orchids are trying to attract beautiful bees and butterflies. The world of orchids is very diverse. Oh, hi, you're from the Discord server. Alrighty then. Hi, Steven. The warrior Anna is saying, I'm in America and it's going okay. I work in healthcare, so I only go out for required work. Oh my goodness, I wish you so much health and I wish you stay healthy. I can only imagine what you're going through. But I wish you all the best. Miranda is asking, what is my favorite fragrant phalaenopsis? It will have to be the Bellina. If you guys know the Bellina, it's, I think, the first phalaenopsis that I ever wanted to order. Now this was 8 years ago. It was before my YouTube channel. When I saw pictures with the Bellina on the internet, oh, I wanted to purchase it so badly. And I tried to from Malaysia. Do you remember 6 years ago or 7? Didn't work out so well. But yeah, I think the Bellina is my favorite fragrant phalaenopsis. Dinash is asking if my orchid feeding routine affects aroma of the flowers. I don't think so. I think watering definitely affects the fragrance of an orchid. Stress generally affects the fragrance amongst other things. If you have a dehydrated orchid, that is a form of stress. And of course the fragrance can be severely impacted. And I think one of the most impacted orchids that I've experienced was the Cherry Baby, which many of you might know. That guy smells. No matter the time of the day, he smells. Well, at some point I was a bit of a noob and I didn't really water my Cherry Babies properly and the fragrance was just not as strong as I wanted it. I think it was my tricolor Cherry Baby a long time ago. So yeah, definitely lack of watering affects it. Fertilizer, not so much. Obviously, if you don't fertilize your orchid and the orchid is stressed because of that and deficient, that can definitely affect aroma. But other than that, I haven't experienced it, at least. It might be, but I haven't experienced it. Hi from the UK, hello. Yeah, I don't know, Thomas. The Chantilly lace twinkle is kind of hard to find here in Europe as well. So yeah, if you guys have ever seen it in the US, do let us know. Graham is asking, how many orchids do I have? Well, the latest head count said 400 orchids, but I think it's a little bit more now. And many of them are actually fragrant. To pick up a little bit the discussion about fragrance, I'm a fragrance freak. You guys might know that. Ever since I was a kid, I liked everything being perfumed. From creams to shampoos to everything. I wanted everything to smell like something. I'm one of those lucky people who doesn't actually get affected by fragrances in skincare and things of the sorts. I'm pretty okay with that. So one of my biggest dreams as a kid was to have a garden with fragrant orchids. The garden part, that's gonna have to wait. But the orchids, not orchids, a garden full of fragrant flowers. But with the flowers, I can solve it pretty fast with orchids. Ever since I discovered that orchids can be fragrant, I have been on the hunt for fragrance. So at the beginning, I started, with the Cherry Baby, with a few Cattleyas, Everything went okay. I was already on YouTube. I was describing their fragrance up until one day, one of my viewers, one of you guys, hopefully still watching, says, I don't like how the Leodoro smells. And I was like, what? Why don't you like it? It smells so beautiful. No, to me it smells kind of like, I don't know, stark lemons or things of the sorts. So I was so shocked because after that, more and more viewers followed saying, yeah, I don't like the fragrance of the, what's that orchid? Dendrobium monosmum, which smells very beautiful to me, I have to say. There was another YouTuber who didn't like the fragrance of that dendrobium, and that was just so perplexing. Why don't these people appreciate the fragrance like I do, you know? It was silly, but then I researched it and I discovered that there are many factors that actually makes us detect fragrance just a little bit different from everybody else. And one of the most interesting aspects was related to memory. There are many of us who associate certain memories with certain smells. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a flower smell. It can be anything. It can be the smell of a wood, the smell of a burning fire, things of the sorts, or the smell of stark lemons. You know how disinfectants usually put lemon in their products just to make things smell a little bit better? I don't find that they smell better, but because of this association with disinfectant and maybe hospitals, some people really hate the smell of the Nelly Eiler or the Sideria or the Leodoro or things of the sorts. And the cause, many of the times, has to do with an impregnated memory in the brain, which is just so mind-blowing because no matter how, let's say, pretty something smells, if you have a bad memory related to that, you'll probably find it hard to appreciate that fragrance. So that's one thing that I learned and I was blown away. I was like, oh, so I personally cannot control other people in detecting what I detect because it has to do with each and every one of us and what we went through. So that's one thing. But there are other factors as well that have to do more with anatomy than anything else, because we are all built so very differently that each and every one of us smells differently, sees differently, hears differently, and even feels the touch differently, which again was a little bit mind-blowing to learn and to understand. But in the end, I kind of came to terms with the fact that, hey, maybe I shouldn't say in my videos that, oh, this smells so beautiful, because everybody will purchase it and there might be somebody who will actually hate the fragrance so much that they will hate me. So ever since then, I started to say in my videos that this to me smells like this and I like it, but hey, you might not like it, you know? So that's the funny thing with fragrances. Just like with everything in life, it can be a preference, it can be an acquired, let's say, memory. It can be something that maybe is related to something that stresses you. It's just so fascinating. And of course, fragrance can actually trigger memories, trigger good memories. And when it comes to, let's say, this fragrance of citrus combined with something floral, something rosy, I am just plunged into this childhood memory of a park full with roses. I was super tiny, I was playing with my mom, I was trying to catch a butterfly, that's what I remember. So whenever I detect this, let's say, I don't know if I should call it citrusy, it's something in between the the Miltoniopsis and this one. Whenever I detect that, I have that memory in my mind and instantly I feel good and I feel relaxed. But hey, somebody else could have a very different memory than mine and feel absolutely horrible when they detect that fragrance. So that's funny. Let me know if you have such triggers. If when you smell something, you remember something good or something bad. Let me know if there is any orchid which you cannot stand when it comes to fragrance, because I actually have a few orchids like that. So Lisa Lot Nilsson, am I pronouncing that correctly? Says, hate you? No, never. I hope. Thank you. Okay, Aiden says, I have a Cattleya with rotten roots. What should I do with it? This doesn't have anything to do with fragrance, but it's okay. I can answer that. No worries. Well, I suggest you do Google or actually YouTube search my ICU setups for orchids that don't have roots, or generally my tutorials for rootless orchids. I do actually have the same type of treatment for all of these orchids, which for a reason or another remain rootless. Whether they're Cattleyas or Phalaenopsis, I go about things in pretty much the same way. Let me just get you a better view at my little Princess Jacky here. My pride and joy. I think you can tell there is a little bit of a difference between the flowers. This one tends to be a little bit rounder. This one is more star-shaped. So yeah, just search a little bit through YouTube. I'm sure you'll find something. I have a ton of video on rootless orchids. Graham is asking, Danny, was this your first live stream here on YouTube? Yeah, but I did a live stream a few days ago on Discord, and that went well, very well. Luminita is saying, Dear Danny, would you buy an orchid which looks quite extraordinary? Let's say pink flowers. Oh, which doesn't look extraordinary, but smells extraordinary. Absolutely. This is why I purchased this one in the first place. When I first saw it in the store, and I think you're Romanian, right? If you live in Romania, you know a store called Hornbach. This is where I first saw it. So when I saw it all white, you know, I didn't think much of it, but for whatever reason, I was compelled to smell it. And it was smelling, and I was floored when I detected the fragrance, so that's why I bought it. So absolutely, whenever I see Cattleyas in shops, I just smell them, and well, I buy them without smelling because I think they might smell if they have good conditions. So yeah, totally. What I do now is I just buy them because, I don't know, I buy them. Then if I don't like them all that much, I just give them away. Jin says, my husband thinks my Sherry Baby smells like mosquito repellent. I know, right? And the Sherry Baby, I think, is one of those orchids that is so hard to dislike because it smells very, very sweet. It's not a very complex scent, to be honest. It just smells chocolatey, vanilla-y. But yeah, there you go. So many people have so different perceptions of smell. Boreal, favorite nighttime fragrance? Well, that's easy because I don't know too many. I like the Brassavola because it's the one that I know most, but I have to say that the Vanda Denisoniana has a wonderful honeysuckle fragrance that I like a little bit more. The problem with the Denisoniana is she's finicky, at least for me. I lost a Denisoniana thus far, and the others are not doing hot. So for me, no, she's not doing well, but she smells amazing. Mr. Dahlia King, how will you celebrate 200,000 subscribers? Well, I already celebrated with a giveaway that ended a few weeks back. But yeah, that's how I celebrated it. I should have gotten a cake as well. I didn't. Next time. Alma says, I have a rotting pseudobulb on my zygopetalon and I'm afraid to remove it. How do I go about it? Again, if you YouTube search a keyword, let's say rotting pseudobulb, and my name, MissOrchidGirl on YouTube, you will find a ton of videos. You're gonna be bored with the amount of videos that I have on these subjects. So whenever you have one of these questions and I don't get to your comments, you don't hear back from me, just search YouTube. I'm sure you'll find something because I have 2,000 videos. Aidan is asking, does the Amethystoglossum have a fragrance? If you're referring to the Dendrobium, no, I didn't detect anything. Aaron is saying, hi from Turkey, your collection is just stunning. Upload more Hoya videos. I don't have Hoyas. Sorry, I don't have them anymore. Many thanks for your experiences. Thank you for watching. You stay safe too. Sorry guys, I don't have any more Hoyas. I actually lost them when? About 2 years ago, and the last one I lost last year with the whole situation that I don't want to go into. It was a sad time for me last year. So yeah, I lost them. I don't have any anymore. Let's switch the orchids a little bit. Another difference between these two that I'm noticing is the height. Do you see how much taller this one is? The Princess Jacky is not a tall orchid. Hi Danny, this is withered I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Thanks for your videos. Any chances you'll do a dendrobium care video anytime soon? I already did. I have a care video on the dendrobium phalaenopsis. I also have one on, or multiple ones on the nobiles. Again, just YouTube search, you'll find something. I will, however, do another sort of practical care tutorial in the Orchid Care for Beginners series later on this year. Pam is asking, hi Danny, what is the first thing you consider when buying an orchid? Oh, do you want the honest answer or the, let's say, the responsible answer? I'll give you the honest answer. The way it looks like, because it's a picture, of course. And then I start to research if it has a fragrance. I start to see what people's experience is with that orchid. But first of all, I go with how it looks like. Then I go with, does it smell? Then I go with, is it good in my hot climate? Which is kind of the third thing on my list. It should be the first, but it's not. When I see something very beautiful, I just can't. I need to know if it smells. Celine is asking, are there any miniature orchids with fragrance? Yes, there are. I'm trying to think about one. So there are phalaenopsis, miniature phalaenopsis with fragrance. The Parisi is one of them. As far as I know, it has a fragrance. And I cannot think of any right now, but there are. There are fragrant orchids in any sizes. Oh, Neophonetia fulcata. We're actually gonna make a tutorial on the mounding of Neophonetias very, very soon. So they're very fragrant. Not very easy to bloom, apparently. Tristan is asking, Danny, can you smell Epidendrum radicans orchids? I can detect an extremely faint smell. It's kind of spicy, almost cinnamony. No, I have never detected the smell of a radicans epidendrum. But I have to say there are some orchids which are not necessarily perfumey in the traditional sense of the word, but they do have a little bit of a melon, let's say, fragrance, or vegetables. Something nice, something fresh, but it's not perfumey. And there are quite a few of those. For example, the Renanthera monachica. I don't think you'll ever see an article saying she's fragrant, but to me she smells a little bit like melons. Now, will I call her perfumey or advertise her as fragrant? No, not really, because it's not a proper fragrance. It's not this beautiful scent. It's just something there. It's not nothingness. But yeah, I think there are quite a few orchids which do have a little bit of a scent, but they're not perfumey, really. Redon Moi is asking, do you enjoy the Berriota smell? I do. I like the honey-like fragrance that it has, but I have to be honest, it's not really high on my top list. If you want a really, really good honey fragrance, go for the Vandopurea little one. She has a combination of a little bit of lemon with a little bit of honey. It smells really like a lemon tea, or actually a lemon tea with honey. That's how she smells like. It's beautiful. So ever since I discovered that hybrid, Berriota is a little for me, but it smells nice, yeah. Foxy Lady is asking, have you ever heard of anyone having a Bigibbum dendrobium Sanook smelling? I had one that smelled, but unfortunately lost it. Yeah, but let's clarify a little bit the Sanook dendrobium. Sanook is a nursery as far as I know. I don't know if they actually produce the seedlings or they're just an intermediary. I think they are from Thailand. Not entirely sure. So it is a nursery, and their hybrids are the most popular hybrids on the market, at least here in Europe. And the blue happiness, the purple happiness, the other ones, the white surprise, what's the name? Burana Jade? No, Burana Green Star. Those are popular Sanook hybrids, and amongst them, some of them do have a little bit of a scent. And I think the Burana Green Star, the green variety, for me, many years ago when I had it, it had a little bit of a scent indeed. But Dendrobium phalaenopsis types or Bigibbum types are not really known to be fragrant. So they're not perfumey. They just have that little bit of a scent that I was telling you about. Mr. Dahlia King is saying, how is your Victoria Reginae doing? Well, the one that I had many years ago is not present, is not among us anymore. But I have another one. Spoilers. Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are so, so kind. How many subs till phase reveal? I'll put a price on that. 10 million. How about that? I know that a while back I said 1 million, but that number is starting to get realer and realer, so I'm not gonna mention that ever again. I'll say 10 million. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. Give Laura and Benjamin a kiss from me. Boral is asking, does your Dendrobium Blue Happiness smell? Mine smells a little rosy lemony. It doesn't, or I don't detect it. You know, sometimes I have this fear of missing out. You know, they're talking about this all day long on the internet. The fear of missing out. I have it when it comes to orchids. I'm thinking, oh, what if I'm missing out on this orchid? What if my nose cannot detect the fragrance? Because let me tell you a little story. So you can actually find this video. It's an older one in the balcony days. So a few years ago, I saw a video talking about an orchid called, I don't remember how it's called. What's it called? I don't remember. I'll put it in the description at some point after this stream. So there was this YouTuber saying they have this wonderful video that smells amazing, out of this world, and I saw it for sale at Schroeder and I bought it and I thought, oh, I'm gonna have myself such a beautifully smelling orchid. And when it bloomed, surprise, surprise, it was smelling exactly like ink. It reminded me of first grade, which was not a pleasant memory. So it reminded me of being in school and having my fingers dirty of ink and having ink everywhere. Do you remember the days? Yeah, I'm a little older. So when I smelled that, I was like, oh my goodness, oh no, what's going on? So I researched it, and as I was saying, I was shocked to discover that different people detect fragrances in different ways. So I thought maybe this orchid actually does smell good, but I just cannot detect it. And ever since that experience, I'm starting to think that some orchids, which smell kind of bad to me, they actually smell good, but it's me who cannot smell them, and that sucks. When it comes to a fragrance freak not being able to detect certain scents, that kind of cuts, let's say, a branch of jobs, potential jobs for me. See, I could never go into the perfume industry if I wanted ever, because I don't have a full palette. I'm sure of that. So that's scary. That's a scary thought. I'm joking. But yeah, I do have fear of missing out sometimes. Jen, I'm just curious that is there someone else is helping you picking the questions now? Otherwise, you're doing fantastic multitasking. No, it's just me. I'm looking at your comments and I don't feel like I'm doing a terribly good job, but not a splendidly awful job either, if you know what I mean. So I'm doing my best. Hi, Danny. Diego Cast is asking, hi, Danny, do fragrant orchids do well in inorganic media? It doesn't really matter. The fact that an orchid is fragrant doesn't necessarily mean it will do good or bad in certain setups. It's just a feature of the orchid. Currently, I don't have anything in inorganic. I wish I did. I wish I could make my inorganic setups work the way that I want them to work, but sadly, they don't after a while. So yeah, no, it doesn't matter if the orchid is fragrant. It just matters how well you get along with that setup, actually. So yeah. Rocky 6 Cats, thank you so much for the super chat. You are so kind. Oh my goodness. Thank you so, so much. P.S. Rocky is my subscriber for 5 years now. Rocky, let me know if I calculated correctly, if my memory serves me right. You're a very old subscriber, but let me know exactly the number of years. Brita Simon, thank you so much. You're so generous for the super chat. She's saying, hi Danny, thanks for the giveaways, but would you consider individual auction on those who want to gift and offer the amount to charity or something? Then each orchid would be fully appreciated. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Let me reread that really fast. Individual auction on those who want to gift. So you mean if I can hold an auction, and then if you want to send that orchid to a particular person, I can send it. I don't know. No, I didn't. I never considered holding auctions or selling orchids or things of the sorts. You guys might know I never sell my orchids. I only give them away. But you know what? Speaking of which, I think Laura from Garden Answer had an idea once about the membership to do this sort of, I don't know how to call it, but she had an idea to raise some funds for people who want to start gardening. Maybe we could do something like, I don't know. I'd never considered it, but yeah, it's something to think about. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm usually wary of holding auctions or selling stuff generally. I'm not a good seller. Andrea is saying, too many comments to answer them all. I know. Thanks for the videos during the lockdown. P.S. You are the only YouTuber who convinced me to have a YouTube account. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you. It means a lot. And I hope we all get through this faster. I know that, complaining about it, it's not okay, and we shouldn't really complain about it, but I do understand you guys. I do get it. It doesn't feel good to be stuck here and to be a little bit afraid all the time, but it's okay. You know what? There are people who have it much, much worse, and I think we should just trust in the medical staff and just let them do their job. And they do need our support. We need to help them. We need to stay at home and protect ourselves for them as well, not just for us. Silly Kitty, I didn't know you had a Discord. Where can I join? In my latest video, I do have a link there. So check the description and you'll find the link there. Leonard H, do you have any Comparadias? I like their look, but I don't dare buying one. Oh my goodness. I purchased one from Orchid Garden. You guys remember Orchid Garden? So I purchased it, I think about 2 years ago. It was squished on transport. And I tried to recover that orchid, and she tried to produce some roots. She tried to recover, but it just didn't end up very, very well. I couldn't save it. And I do want to buy a Comparadia again, but at this point I'm not entirely sure if it is a combination of my environment as well, or if that one was a little bit sickly. I don't know. To be fully honest, I'm a little iffy with the Comparadias, but I do really wish to have another one because I love them too. And they come in so many different colors, It's a shame not to have one, but I don't know if it's the time just yet. Lisa Lott is saying, but I bet you'd be a great salesperson with orchids. I guess so. Yeah, I can sell orchids, I guess. I mean, I can make you want to grow orchids. I'm not sure if I am okay or I would be able to sell an orchid that I didn't like. I don't know. Maybe. P.S. Did you guys know that I used to work in an aquarium shop? I told you this before. So yeah, I was in the plant section there. Fish as well, but more in the plant section, and I knew everything by heart. I loved it. Brian Lee Wood is saying, would love to see you start a vivarium for micro miniature orchids. It's in the works. That's why I'm starting the springtail culture, which by the way is doing okay. The rice started to molt, so I'm happy. And somebody said that they don't think they were springtails because they didn't jump. They're jumping, you guys. They're springtails. So yeah, I am considering trying to order a colony. The thing is, it's gonna arrive here in 2 weeks, maybe more. I don't know if springtails will be alive. If you think they will be okay during that transport, let me know. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to take it the long way. Andrea Wilson is saying, you have inspired me to embrace this hobby. Thank you, and advice on planting a baby oncidium I was given. First of all, thank you so much. I am inspired by you guys as well. You have no idea. I love reading the comments. They get me into such an inspired mood. You give me ideas for videos. It's awesome. And about your tiny oncidium, I think you should go for a more water retentive medium than you might generally use for Cattleyas or Phalaenopsis or things of the sorts. Oncidiums do like moisture, and seedlings, they like even more moisture. So it really depends on your environment. Try to make it airy but water retentive as well. Generally, for normal home conditions, I would go for moss and bark in a combination of sorts, and I think that should be good. Just don't compact the moss way too much. Oh my goodness, Brita is saying Danny made me buy 300 euros worth of orchids since January. Is that a good thing? I don't know, that I found her channel. So yeah, she'd be great at selling because she already is. Oh my goodness, I don't know if that's a good thing. If you think it's a good thing, if it makes you happy, then I'm happy as well. But yeah, we need to exercise sometimes a little bit of restraint with orchids as well. Do as I say, not as I do, you know. Jenny L, Orchid Girl fan here. Thank you for your live stream. Thank you for joining. How am I doing so far? Alma Mendoza is saying your springtail video, great work, Danny. Thank you. Regarding the springtails, this is a good opportunity to actually tell you this. There was somebody in the comments saying that the charcoal used for barbecue, some of the brands have some added chemicals that actually make it burn faster or ignite or something of the sorts. And that's not okay with springtails. So today I went to the bag and I looked, and on the bag they brag about being very natural and no added chemicals or things of the sort. So I don't think the coal that I used has any of those chemicals. But yeah, if you were thinking to start a colony, just make sure that you don't get the self-igniting coal. I think this is how it's called. So yeah, I'm also thinking of starting a colony on Ceramis, since I have it around and there's no use for it, why not? So yeah, I guess you can use other things if you're not okay with coal. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, I didn't know this. I actually didn't know that coal could be of different types, but now that we know, I guess you don't want that kind of stuff in your food, right? Jenny L is saying restraint is for losers. You're doing great, Danny. Oh no, I'm not. I have 400 orchids. I'm not doing great at all, and there's nobody to stop me. Jennifer Chic. Oh wait, no, I think Jacky is actually the one on the left. This is not the Princess Jacky. This is the new girl, which I thought she was the Princess Jacky. This is Jacky. So it's the one on your left. Arcolier de Orquideas. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm butchering your name so badly. I'm so sorry. Macon from Discord. Hi Macon, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you have any orchid that has such a strong scent you have to put it outside, or maybe you feel sick? Oh yes, and this happened very recently. When my Angraecum sesquipedale bloomed, I got him inside and I told my boyfriend, oh my goodness, this is gonna be the air freshener of the century. And then it started to smell, and it smelled kind of like an old kitchen cloth that you didn't wash in a long time. A little bit of chlorine, a little bit of tap water, but stale tap water, you know what I mean? Horrible, horrible, horrible fragrance. To me, of course. I'm sure there are people who love it. So I had to put it back in the greenhouse the second that I noticed the fragrance. Surav Das is asking, when will my Lalias bloom? I would love to see. I don't know, I hope they will bloom fast. If you're referring to the Rupiculus Lalias, it's gonna take a while because they need time to adjust. As far as I understand, the ones that I purchased were just imported. They were establishing, and I put them through the Rocky experiment, so at least part of them, half of them will not be as established as I would have liked them to be. And I will repeat myself, when I started the experiment, I was not counting on the fact that they will go downhill. No, I wanted to see which ones will have more flowers. One will have 3, the other one will have 4, you know, things of the sorts. I didn't make that experiment to see which one will survive. I don't play like that. So Sally now, I think they will be slightly set back, but not a whole lot. All of them are rooting beautifully ever since I switched them. So yeah, I hope that they will bloom soon, but I don't know. Brita Simon, are you planning to get married? Yes, I want to get married to Princess Jacky. I do. I think she's the most beautiful orchid ever. And I know that Nellie Eiler will be a little jealous and a little bit sad, but I think I will take Princess Jacky. Lenium, where's Maya? She's sleeping. She's sleeping in the same nest as Joey at the moment, and they're giving me the stink eye because it's a little late. Mr. Dahlia King, what type of orchids you have the most? Ooh, I think it's a tie between Cattleyas and Phalaenopsis. I was never, or I didn't consider myself a big lover of Phalaenopsis. And of course you go through that phase of beginner Phalaenopsis, but I gave most of my Phalaenopsis away before I moved here. So when I moved here, I didn't have a lot of Phalaenopsis, at least that. They would have taken too much space in the boxes as well. So I had more Cattleyas than anything else. Lately though, I did a head count on the Phalaenopsis, and I was shocked and awed to discover that I have upwards of 100 Phalaenopsis total. Be it together with the novelties or the Polychilus subgenus, however you want to call it, all of those, counting all of those, including the big flower shop ones. So now, I think it's a tie between the Cattleyas and the Phalaenopsis, which is kind of strange, right? But I'm giving away the big Phalaenopsis. Sophie's asking, Danny, how often do you repot oncidiums in moss? I would say about every 2 years or so. I had an oncidium that I had in the same medium for 1.5 years. I recently repotted it, and it looked okay. It looked like it could have went a little bit more. The Best Grove Sphagnum moss is really great, and I feel like it can go 2 years if you make sure not to compact it too much and treat it nicely. So I would say about 2 years, but of course this will depend on environment and the products you use as well. Janielle is saying, I have a confession. I've never managed to grow another pseudobulb on a Cattleya. Another new growth, you mean? Why? How long did you wait? Let's put it like that, because there are some Cattleyas which they only create one pseudobulb per year. Jin says, my new Phalaenopsis Orchid World kind of makes me sick. Too strong and a little fishy. Is it common to the Phal amboinensis hybrid? A little fishy? You know what? I think it is. I don't have an amboinensis. Little spoiler. I made an order 3 months ago at Class and Orchids. For 2 months, they forgot about my orchid. Then I wrote them, and they... Actually, no. 1 month they forgot about my orchid. 1 month they kept emailing me back and forth with, we don't have this orchid anymore, do you want this one, and so on and so forth. And then the 3rd month, when they were supposed to ship it, hey, lockdown. So yeah, I have an amboinensis on that order, hopefully. And I did hear it smells a little funky. So yeah, I think it's the amboinensis. But it's not my experience. It's just what I read. Zoe Zikidu is asking, is there a problem having orchids over a radiator if you can handle watering before they get dry? There are 2 problems actually. One is temperature. High temperature rises to the top. So if you have the radiator under the orchid, all of that hot air will go straight up. It's not gonna flush on the floor, you know, it's just gonna go to the orchid. And that can damage leaves, buds, flowers. Fluctuations in temperature usually creates bud blast, but not only. That radiator can actually dry the air a lot. So your orchid might actually have very dry air around it. And depending on the orchid, it might not be a very good thing. So I would be careful. If you want to try it, you're free, of course, to try it, because you know your conditions better than me, but I would definitely keep an eye on humidity and that temperature. Elias is asking, do you prefer mini phals or species? I don't know, because they're all so beautiful, and I'm just looking at them now. I don't know what to tell you. I like both of them, but I think I would have to go with mini phalaenopsis because they're just so easy to find that they're available for everybody. And I have to love that aspect. And whenever I talk about orchids on my channel, you might have noticed that I don't try to purchase the rarest things ever. If I find something for sale locally, yeah, sure, I'm gonna buy it. And if it's rare, oh wow. But I don't go for the rarest types because what's the point of making a video on the rarest type that 99.9% of my viewers cannot even purchase? You know, I don't like that type of, I don't know, collection. So I would have to go for mini phalaenopsis because they're just so cheap, so versatile, so tiny that I absolutely love them. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So Frequencia is asking, how was it moving all of my orchids to another country? That's a very good question. I do have some videos on it, and I always promised you guys that I would do a more in-depth video on it. It's just, I don't know. I always found better subjects to talk about because it wasn't the most pleasant experience. But I will tell you now because I think it's a good opportunity. So what I did was I unpotted first all of my orchids because transporting them potted, not space saving, it would have costed a lot of money. So I unpotted everything. That was bad, but I had to. Then we arranged a cargo shipping from my country to my current location. I had about 4 boxes total, and when we arrived here, I had the bad luck of my medium actually not arriving to my location just yet, although I ordered it 3 weeks ahead. I discovered that transport between this country and Germany is not very fast. It was the first time I was ordering. So we were forced to actually go and buy a very big tarp. We put it on the floor in my greenhouse. It was currently, back then actually, it didn't have as many shelves as it does now, so we had space, and we put all of the orchids on the tarp. And for 2 or 3 weeks, they were on the tarp. There was no place anywhere to put them. I didn't have pots, I didn't have hangers, I didn't have anything. They were on the tarp. I would spray their roots from time to time, and I would try to maintain them alive and happy. Well, the outcome of that was that I had a lot of orchids very, very, very stressed. So it wasn't a very good experience because I couldn't really anticipate all of the troubles that we went through and all of the hassles, but I think I should have prepared earlier. I should have made sure that the medium was already here when I moved. Yeah, if I could go back, I would do things a little differently, but yeah, it wasn't very easy, I have to say. So maybe I should do a video explaining all of these things and maybe give you some pointers and tell you my experience, because if you're gonna do what I did, it's not gonna be all that great. But yeah, we did what we did. It was okay in the end. What to do? Boreal is asking, did you move to Cyprus just because of your orchids? No, my orchids had nothing to do with it. They just tagged along. I moved to Cyprus to be with the love of my life. And now I am. Tristan Simpson is saying, you know, Danny, if you get a sponsor, you can make a pretty penny. I do have a sponsor. I have Repop Me, and I love Repop Me. Silly Kitty is saying, did Phalaenopsis react better to moving? I plan to move states pretty soon, and I only have Phalaenopsis right now. Yes, they are so drought tolerant. My Belina went through the move, even though she had a virus. Currently, I think she's kind of over it. She was a little bit sick, but she pulled through with flying colors. Most of my Phalaenopsis did. I didn't have way too many Phalaenopsis, but the Cattleyas, the Phalaenopsis, what else did I have? Maybe Epidendrums. They were fine. Oh, the Vandas. They were fine for the main part. What didn't survive were the Oncidiums and the very water-loving plants such as the Allosaras and stuff. Those plants, I lost all of them, sadly. Guys, I think we're coming to an end. It's been an hour. I don't know how time flew. I just became more comfortable now. I hope you guys had a good time. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you'd like this to be more frequent on my channel, if you like this to be maybe a weekly thing. I really like it. I like that I can actually talk to you at the same time live and respond to your comments. So I had a blast. I hope you had fun too, and I hope you are doing great. Schedule as normal next week, and let me know how you liked the stream and what other suggestions you have for the stream. So I would like